we're 60 points off the track, baby.
In Japan, where the sun will always shine, traditions collide with the future's line. Through city streets and temples high, find your story beneath the sky. Waves scratch, pumping out your sense, harmony flows to the best of lands. With the neon glow, the respect, the culture rich, where reason stands. In the morn of grace, we'll dance the night with every star, a guiding light. In Japan, where the sun will always shine, traditions collide with the future's line. Through cherry lanes and soaring heights, find your magic near the moonlit nights.
Alrighty, guys. Alrighty. Give me a second here. Alrighty. Before I quite get myself fully going for today, I'm trying to figure out no. I'm trying to figure out a couple of things I'm doing here, guys. The one thing I am going to do, is I am to because I'm doing some stuff done gaming. Now there's this thing that we're going to kind of, as I'm kind of getting myself set up here. Okay, so it won't allow me to. So now I have to do a couple of things I always do. I always forget to do this, to set the stream up prior to have like you guys can come in and watch. For any of it. And that's a problem with me is I will have today I'm going to put in tomorrow's stream as well, so that you know that it will be scheduled. We're gonna click on I'm gonna do some things where live. Okay. Then I need to also open as layers promote. No. I always put pro mods in here so that I want to scale the layer up. Basically, we're going to scale the layer up to 200 on that, just to scale it up a little bit bigger. And then we're going to hit export, overwrite it. pretty much, we're gonna overwrite that. I think, actually, I'm gonna overwrite it. We're gonna do a thing. Will it be able to open since it's not? Okay. So now I need to go to image, scale the image down to 720. I always do, my thumbnails are always at 720p, but the game of Euro Truck does not do that properly. Yes, I know you guys can't see my face because I have a couple of things that I am kind of not wanting you guys to see right now. There we go. I always do. I'm using Windows Designer now. I'll just create text based on what I feel like I want to see for it. Okay. Now I am going to tell you guys. I'm gonna set up another scheduled stream. I'm actually going to create this. I need to Euro Truck Simulator 2. And then we go down, select the playlist. And I'm doing this, adding tags. We're gonna add Trump in here. ETS 2. No. S2, SCS. Just so that, and then also Pro Mod. Pro Mod. Okay. Just so that it's always there, so people can find it. And then I have, and stuff. And now, before I show you guys any of my stuff, let me get in quickly into Euro Truck here. Okay, stream chat, thank you, so that you guys can kind of see this. We're gonna have these things here. I'm doing a couple of things as I'm working on it. So in the editing process of what I do, is as I come in and create content for what it's worth, guys. It's worth it. With everything that goes on in the daily life of a lot of American people, is that not everybody not everybody's gonna have the freedom that they desire to have. Live hauling. Tomorrow I will be shutting my windows. My windows tonight. I need to shut them because of the impending weather, smoky weather. Cargo and Euro Truck Simulator 2. Cargo. I always do I should always have this. installing cargo, news, in. Okay. And then we're gonna add a little bit. Add. I gotta do this. So anyway, I always save a copy of my screenshots and stuff. And when I create a lot of content, guys, like okay, so now we're going to discard those changes. Open. And then what I always like to do is when it comes to making video games or comes to making content through through a lot of the process, I'm gonna actually do a couple of things. Image layer, no image. Sorry. You know, I want to take the process of having to do that less. So we're gonna scale this down because I always like to have the pro mods a little bit better, a little bit higher for when you guys look at the thumbnail. Overwrite. Thank you. Anyway. Alright, there we go. I'm sorry, guys. Can you guys hear me alright? I know you guys, I know I can't see you right now, but I'm opening up some stuff. Scale the image. We're gonna scale this to 225. Just scale it to make it a little bit bigger, but not much. Override. Just enough that it's going to, that I don't have to come back in here and edit all the time. I'm on that. Okay, so now let's, now I need to go back over here. Cargo. DQ. Alright. And then we'll schedule this for Friday at 3. Hopefully we have that availability to do this. This is gonna help you guys out for scheduling. This is no okay. All right. So I am now needing to do a couple more things. Sorry, I am not prepared today, as a lot of people think I am. Um, because I am going to, once I figure out a way to the stuff that I okay. And later I will be playing some Call of Duty. So, anyway, I got thank you. I needed you out, and you now set you guys there. Sorry. I am just making sure that I can see your guys' chat and everybody's chat because if I don't, then there's no way that I'm going to get things through. Now, we've got that going. Let me come back over here. Okay, we have some new updates within the game. We're gonna try to get a DAF truck, the new DAF truck. But we have to get some things in here. We have the Miku skin pack added. For all. No. And then we come down here, confirm our changes. Load in a game. And there is some things I wanted to really come into today. No, it's gonna say I'm missing a thing. I can still load in this save because I'm not using Helena in any way. I removed it because of how grotesque and how some things are. I don't like when places in a game or anything of that nature within it. Now that doesn't mean that that crop. I don't mind cropped. I don't mind people wearing crop tops. I don't mind people wearing things like that. But when you wear things that are basically showing more than people bargain for, it's like people shouldn't be wearing skimpy T-back underwear like that as a swimsuit kind of thing. People shouldn't be wearing two-piece swimsuit. Shouldn't be wearing a one-piece swimsuit. I mean, two-piece. Should be more of a one-piece than a two-piece for it. And that's the truth, to be honest. Uh, and it's like, but I don't care. I won't do that. Um, like if you're gonna wear that kind of underwear, you need to it's kind of like hide it, but it's like you need to hide that, not show it off. On things, and so it's like I don't care about it. But when we get into talking about this, okay, you know what? We're gonna do a little bit different today, guys. We're gonna listen to something a little bit different. I haven't listened to these guys in forever. Not the other one. Um, it's under radio, duh. And then I'll just pick a random song from Panda Beats. So anyway, what I want to get into talking about today is people's freedom of speech and people's ability to speak their own personal mind. And I'm going to tell you this. Okay. There is a lot of things that a lot of people need to really, frankly, understand what goes on in the life of speaking your own mind and speaking the way that you have every right to speak your mind. Okay. Actually, we also, I believe they're all in the same. That's the one that we're doing. But it's all coming from Cola Bear, and they're all for beverages. So I think what we'll do is we just go to Sam's Cola. Um, and there's this thing that people need to understand. A lot of people think that your freedom of speech, that everybody has freedom of speech, everybody has the ability to speak their mind. But when it comes to saying, you know, look, you have the right to speak your mind elsewhere. You don't have the right to speak your mind here. You might go out and find people of your own accord, to find people that agree with your opinions and agree with your thing. That's every right. Right? You have every right to go out and listen to Barnacles or anything of that nature. You know, you go out and you speak, you go out and like, let's go and say, I want to actually respond. I wanted to see if I have anybody who shared. I posted a thing on Newsbreak, on something on Newsbreak, and I wanted to actually come out. Okay, nobody has responded. Okay. You have the right to speak your mind in any way, shape, or form. Okay, you have the right, like you say, you have the right to go and speak your mind. Like, personally, you do. Okay, but you do not have those rights when, for example, like if you're here in, let's say you want to speak your mind, right? I come in here and you say, oh, you espouse that you want to talk about Donald Trump and talk about MAGA and talk about him being a great person, fantastic human being, right? You don't have, and you come in here, and if you come in here and claim that you have the rights to speak your mind, and say, oh, well, you're being a hypocrite because you agree with freedom of speech. I said, okay, I agree with freedom of speech. Thanks, Solid, for joining the TikTok club. I do agree with freedom of speech, but the freedom of speech doesn't mean, for example, if you are somebody who is from Donald Trump, right? Or somebody who goes out and believes in that way. You have the right to go and speak your mind when you go onto Truth Social. You have your right to speak anything that you want on Truth Social. You don't have every right to go and speak your mind on X either. You don't have every right to speak your mind on Blue Sky, TikTok. You don't have the right to speak your mind. You don't have every right to speak everything that you want and anything that you want and that deems approvable. It's the same way when you go to a Baptist church, right? You go to a Baptist church and you go to a Baptist church. Do you have the right to go out and speak the Book of Mormon? You don't. Why? Because it's their own personal belief and their own personal belief on how they believe in their religion. You don't get it. A lot of people don't seem to understand that the freedom of speech, it's like they go out and they say, oh, well, I don't want kids talking about, all this all this sparked my curiosity because of a school all because a school decided to not allow children, all because they decided to not allow a child to wear a quote-unquote a t-shirt to school. Right? And it came because of this t-shirt that this child basically said, you have and it's all because this child came in to a school wearing a shirt that says there's only two genders. All of you may not agree with me on this. You may not like what I say on the two genders belief, but some of you may not agree with me on this. Kid should have been allowed to be able to wear it. But let me be clear: do you have the right to speak your mind when you go to church? Like I said, when you go to church, is it in the back? Okay, I am gonna do a thing here. We're gonna load that one. You don't have the right to speak your mind for a lot of good reasons. You can't just go out and expect. Okay, we're gonna actually even go back even, actually, do I have a current job? I do not. Okay, so you could go this way, guys. You could go down that way, but I'm not gonna risk me trying to go down that way when there's another way I can get in. So, but you don't have the right to speak your mind. You don't have the right to speak your mind in an establishment. Okay, if I say I can go and speak freedom of speech, but yet you don't want me speaking the Book of Mormon to you in your church, you don't want me speaking, you don't want me speaking in that way, it is because the establishment has the right to their free speech. Okay? A business may not support you in your gay marriage. And they may not want you to come to their business because they don't support gay marriage. That's fine. They don't have to. Okay? But a business, like, if a business decides that they're not going to support straight marriage, right? Well, I'm just gonna tell you, you specifically have every right to speak your mind and your mind in your own way. You have the right to speak your mind when you go into somebody's chat room, okay? But if somebody does not want you speaking that way, then they have every right to silence your speech because they don't want to hear your speech. That's what the freedom of speech means. Okay? Freedom of speech doesn't mean that everybody has the right to speak their own mind in whatever place or businesses. Now, in school, it's a little bit... I would say it's a little bit different. But you have the right to speak your mind the way you want to speak it. Just go create your own YouTube channel, go create your own business, and then you can go and speak about whatever you want to speak about. But you shouldn't be forcing other businesses to put your speech in front of them. You shouldn't be forcing these other businesses to remove DEI when they want to support DEI. Okay? And stuff. You have... I need to get some services. I'm gonna get some repairs done. I had to get repairs, but I don't know why that's blocked right there. Okay. This is why I don't like driving over here. I don't get why. Actually, I think I can just do this. I'm coming out of a place like that. And a lot of these people think that freedom of speech means that I have the right to speak my own mind, but that I have every right to speak my own mind. You do. Okay? You have the right to speak your own mind, but you also don't have the right, at the same time, somebody else has that exact same freedom to boot your ass out of a job. You know, they have every right to say, okay? They have every right to speak your mind. You can say that I don't want MAGA in my business. But see, when we decide to cry wolf, when people decide to say, oh well, MAGA gets angry because oh, I can't be here because I have MAGA hat, and because there's this thing but previously that has been out there with this bar that basically said they don't want to serve you because you have a MAGA hat on. That's their right. They have every right to not serve you. If you think that these people have the right to serve you, to be subservient to you and follow everything you do, they don't. You know, if a cake decorator decides to decides not to go out and support your marriage, they have every right to. But if it's the only business in town and they decide they don't want to serve you, that's kind of that one there is a little bit different in my opinion. It's like you're the only business in town that has to go out and get groceries, and that they don't want to have to travel miles to go and get groceries when they have a grocery store right in town. You know, nobody has the rights to speaking their mind the way that people want them to. People want you to speak. You'll speak their way, and if you don't speak my way, I'm going to sue you. I'm going to harm you. I'm going to take you down, and you don't have any right to do that. You also, the only other thing that you do not have the right to do with freedom of speech is take and use that speech to harm others. And that's the truth. If you're out there trying to harm people, then you shouldn't be in public life to harm people. Harming people is in no way, shape, or form. Harming a trans person because you don't like them doesn't mean that you go out there and harm them. If they come out and say this, and you go out and you harass them on platforms, and you harass them and consistently harass people like that, or continue to harass people of that nature, then you don't have every right. You have the freedom. That's why we had the freedom of speech in the first place. is that you have the right to speak your mind as long as that person agrees with your speech. Is not right. You have the right to speak your mind at this establishment as long as it agrees with their speech, of course. You don't have every right to change somebody's speech. So you don't have to do the check again. So it's where people need to really understand that the freedom of speech is only for those who are interested, or no, it's not. I don't know. The freedom of speech basically just means that if I can go and say, oh, I want freedom of speech, well, I want to have that freedom. Well, guess what? Okay, can I go and speak that mind? Can I go to your church and speak about the Book of Mormon? Can I go to your church and speak about the Doctrine and Covenants? Can I go there and speak about the Islamic religion in your church? Can I go and speak about it in light of what they teach, what they do, and how they and start teaching and preaching their religion to you in a Catholic church, or in a Baptist church, or in a Lutheran or a Methodist church? Can I go and speak? Hold on. And if you answered yes, and if you answered yes to the question, then okay. Then I want you to go to. Then I want you to stop complaining about. But if you answered yes to that question, then okay. Then you can say, okay, well then that child has every right to do it. But if you answered no, then the school has every right to police their free speech a little bit too. Yep, we're gonna receive some trailer damage because I'm trying to turn around that corner. I always do that. But none of you listen, none of you see the implications of the rule of law. None of you look at the care that if you said I cannot teach my religion in your church, then you do not have that freedom of speech to go out and say that a child has every right to speak a two genders church, only two genders t-shirt in school. Then you don't have every right to put up the 10 Commandments in school, because if a school decides they want to put the 10 Commandments up, they have every right to do that. But if a school says no, we're not going to do this, and you want to police people's speech, you want to put the 10 Commandments in there, then I go out there and I said, okay, then would you be up to allowing for, like, I would go and talk to these religious folks and said, okay, then let's add the Book of Mormon. You want me to allow to teach the Book of Mormon in school? Would you want that be taught in school? If you said no, you're not a Christian, because you're deciding that you only want religion taught to be your standard of a religion, not the standard of the corporate America. Basically, you only want it to be your choice of your speech. Because that's how these politicians look at it. They want the Ten Commandments in school, but they don't want pride flags in school. They only want what their religion. Actually, it's in the back. It's only what they want to have their minds be spoken to. You know, and yes, we have one. Not enough to satisfy me. And it's enough only to satisfy what these Republicans want. They want their religion, and only their religion, to be the point of their ideology. Is that they only want what they want, not thinking about that actually gives me the opportunity to go and visit down here. This isn't Great Britain, it seems. We can get off the island a little bit, but I don't want to get off the island. We're gonna go back to ROG. And that's what they see. They only see it for what they want. And they want to police anybody's speech because they feel like that the freedom of speech that they have is not what is the freedom of speech for only the freedom to speak my mind and only my mind. Okay? A school should be a place of learning. A school of place should be learning to grow and paying attention to what's going on in school. They shouldn't be like schools shouldn't have slogans or things like this in school unless it's the mascot for the school or it's in that regard. And so people need to realize that schools should be a place of active learning and not forcing anything down people's throats by having, like, you know, this student that's out there that has the amendment, that this gender thing. The school had every right to take away that school, take away that t-shirt. If the school deems, you know, if a school deems it right for that child to not wear it, that's a school's choice and that's not the government's choice. Government shouldn't be involved in learning, forcing students to learn a certain way. They should learn a way that we have some core standards that we teach. But if a child decides to want to learn about, you know, God in school, let them learn about God in school. Let them learn so that they can learn in any way. And they should be allowed to learn learn their speech and learn in school, right? Well, if it's a public school, no. A public school does not have the right to force a religion on anybody. Because it's a public space, it's a public square. They shouldn't be forced to have the Ten Commandments in school. They shouldn't be forced to have those things. And it goes the same way with pride stuff. Pride stuff shouldn't be allowed to be taught in school either. But then again, if you want the Ten Commandments to be taught in school, you also have to teach the LGBTQ in school. That only seems fair to me. You know? And that's how it should be. A school shouldn't be should be allowed to have teaching of various not on the map. And that goes for saying for a lot of people who, like, I may contradict myself in some of these things, but it's like you look at these things, it's like, okay, you have to be more cautious about how you word things and how you do things, because people are going to also take that out of context. And you know, you look at a song, they're gonna, like the YMCA song, like the YMCA village people basically said it's not a gay anthem, and it never was. But we used it as a gay anthem for a long time. Well, why didn't they come out and say that a long time ago? Because it made them money, and as long as it made them money, they were happy. But now they're going to lose a lot of people because the YMCA should never be used for that agenda. You know. You know, and that's the truth behind all of it. Is like, these people want to have your rights taken away because all it is they want it to be for them and only for them. You look at Donald Trump. He's basically getting hand over fist from the courts, and yet Donald Trump is ignoring every single one of them because he wants to do everything that he wants. When in reality, those things should never, ever, you should never, ever deny a court. Follow the courts. Stick with the courts. The courts may have sometimes, may not always rule, but if they decide that they want to, you know, if Congress decides they want to get rid of birthright citizenship, why don't you create an amendment? Why don't you do that in the court, in any of it? This is why I don't like driving in Iceland. I probably won't come back to Iceland. And it's only that when you take a look at the courts and you take a look at things, it's like if a court rules one way, if they rule one way and say that Donald Trump shouldn't be out there utilizing the courts for black, like he wants to basically take away the rights of trans people, well, then he also has to realize that if the courts say, no, you're not going to do that, well, they all take it up to the Supreme Court and want the Supreme Court to rule on all these things. The Supreme Court should not have to rule on every ounce of every thing that comes. That comes in. These people cannot and do not have okay? They don't have any way of making it okay. And it's like all of these things that are freedoms, they're not free in any way, shape, or form if the people say, you know, if they want freedom of speech taken away, then go and create an amendment, go and do this. They won't. They can't. Because they can't create an amendment. They have to. They want this amendment. They want to create this amendment. They have to go through it. They're never going to be able to get it passed. They have to have 2/3. They have to have. That means at least some of those Democrats, not all of them, have to have also agreed about. The amendments will never pass because they have to get a 2/3 majority. And remember, just because they have a majority of Republicans in both places, they're never going to be able to get it passed. And this big beautiful bill, even the Senate is having a heyday with it and not wanting to post or pass anything. You know? Sorry, I'm shifting around in my chair. It's like these people don't really listen to what goes on in life, because what do they do? They always and they don't believe in any shape or form. They don't believe the right on anything. They only believe the way that they think and the way that all of these happen. You know, the international court. You know, all of these things. Donald Trump is basically gonna say, nope, I'm ignoring them all. They don't care if they don't want um, white people, I mean, not white people, they don't want any foreign nationals coming into this country. They don't want Chinese people. They don't want anybody coming in. They want this country to speak English. When this country never came to be a English-speaking nation, this became a country where everybody had the right to speak many different languages and many different lines. It's like ita. It's like It's like you come in and you want, like, that word that I just said, ita, a Japanese word that means pain. Pain. And yet, all of these people don't want to, don't want people speaking another language. They want it to be spoken English. No other country in the world outside of the United States had the ability to speak multiple languages. Right now, the only language that's coming out there is speaking English. Most of these countries, you go to these countries, you're gonna most likely have some way of being able to speak English in some regard. In some regards, but you're not going to be able to in every country. It's like you go to Malta, you can speak English. You go to Japan, you can, and you stay in Tokyo, you're going to be able to speak somewhat English. And so, you have the right to speak that mind. And you have those that have that right, but you don't have the right to go and force other They don't have every right to speak your mind. You don't have every right to do so. I know I'm repeating myself on this, but you don't have every right to hurt people's lives because you want to destroy people's lives because you say, oh, well, we're gonna increase our big budget of $4.5 trillion. We're gonna have everybody, and it's like, no, you don't. You know, we wouldn't have the dirty 30s. Okay, back in the day, the dirty 30s existed. Did you know that all of that was because of the tariffs that were put into place? The dirty 30s happened because of the tariffs. Tariffs back then. If the tariffs happen today, look, people are gonna start losing jobs and stuff. Now AI has exacerbated this. Sometimes I'll go and ask ChatGPT occasionally. Like I asked something about Lake Sheldon for instance, and it's like all I have to do is just go and talk to search Google or search ChatGPT or search Start Page or even search TikTok or whatever platform, and I can find a lot of information. Is that information truth? Not always. But people are going to go out there and search this information, and they're going to do this. It's like they only want what they want for their speech. It's like you look at Utah, a predominant Republican leading state, passed a bill on this care of not allowing minors to get gender affirming care. They are now, and they asked to do a study. Now, guess what happened to that study? That study proved the health and the mental and the well-being of a trans person, and it benefits them, and they want to have, and they want this to be, they basically scrap. They're saying we want more data, we want more information. No, they only want more information because they want it to fit their narrative, and they haven't been able to figure out how to fit their narrative, because nowhere in the Bible does it talk about trans people. It does not in any way, shape, or form talk about trans people. It does talk about homosexuality and that, but it does not talk about trans people. And that's the truth. A lot of these places, like, you go and look at this, it's like, find me evidence where it doesn't talk about trans people. If you talked about it in Romans or Ezekiel, I read both of those. Not say, oh well, men shouldn't be allowed to and men shouldn't be allowed to wear women's clothes. Well, that's right. But guess what? It does not say anywhere about somebody transitioning to be a woman or transitioning to be a man. Okay? It doesn't talk about that. It only talks about those, and you can't even show me people can't even go out and show me the evidence and prove to me that, yes, it might say this way. Anyways, give me a second, guys. I'll be right back. say. Yeah, I'm trying to go. Yeah. Yeah, look what it's gonna tell me to do. So, um, so yeah, this is where the Scania trucks I feel like are gonna be the best bet. Yeah, this is where I think the Scania trucks... I think this is where we're gonna have to... think. But this is gonna be one of those that's gonna be absolutely okay. There's got to be a way to activate the axle. Activate the back axle. Because the back axle isn't even really trying to pull. Let me go into options. Okay. Hey, we're at least moving a little bit. Do I have to do it like this? I will definitely do it. You. This is really weird. Hold on, I don't know what you're saying. Give me a second. Let me use evening at home. Nice. Evening here, by the way. Okay. Alright guys, give me... Do you speak... Wouldn't you get into trouble for being a part of my channel, to be honest? Wouldn't you get into trouble in Russia? Sorry guys, we got a Russian. I have to use translate. Well, thanks. I don't know Russian, I only know English. And I don't know if this is gonna detect as Russian. Yeah. Yeah, it works just fine, but it's heavy. Yeah. Come on. I think it might be that I might need the mid lift. Like truck. Come on. Yay! We're actually finally moving! Thank you! Maybe we need the mid lift. Yeah, we might have to do mid lifts out here, the 8x4s out here. Because I have to figure out what's like the hill traversal. Like this does not give me that much hill traversal, and I'm wondering if being able to lift heavy cargo is what's needed to be out here. This is why I'm only going to keep the food stuff out here. We'll let somebody else, another trucking company, take over on that. And it's 5-hour trip time! No! No! Oh, next time I won't be driving out here without that 8x4. I think we might need the 8x4 and have the best engine out here. Okay, do we have a rest along here any further? Because if we don't... No, it's this way. We have a rest at 30 minutes at the next checkpoint. I think we might have to go with the 8x4 mid lifts out here. The 8x4s, the things, and having the best engine. Out here, because I don't think these lower end 600 horsepower. We need the. I'm going to try just coming this way just to experiment. We'll get a Scania truck with the highest thing, get the same tag lift, but get with the highest horsepower, and see if we can still go up there. Because if it, and then we'll also get that exact same thing, travel the exact same path, getting up there with a tag with a mid lift, and then also trying that exact same thing with a 8x4. And if the 8x4 is the best one, I missed the turn there. And that's... Yeah, we're gonna get rest. We're gonna be late with this one. They're gonna have to realize that I did not have the best Yep. Yeah. It might be the horsepower too, because having a 12 plus 2 retarder. Cause it's taken me forever. So this is ridiculous. I will not be driving out here in Iceland anymore. Yep, I just got damage again. Luckily still no damage to the... Yeah, I kind of wish I could just create a thing and just cross right there. I don't know why they don't do that sometimes in Iceland. Like, having some of these places like that, like they could have saved themselves a little bit by just building a bridge there. Saving them, yeah, it might be a costly measure, but it would have been sometimes better. But we are going to be late with this, unfortunately. I can get up in traversal hills pretty well. But I don't know if the 8x4 or if it's just not getting enough torque. Because having enough torque power, and that just is going to Bayon Deos. Okay. Now, okay, so it's going there. So we'll just keep going until it tells me I can. Okay, I will shift. Yeah, I'm gonna shift these Actrosses out of here. I'm gonna put these down in. I'll shift these Actrosses out of this area. We'll get DAFs when we can. So I'm gonna look it up. I will look it up after I get this thing delivered to figure out what's the best truck to drive in out here. Because I'm gonna go make some supper, guys. I'm gonna make some mac and cheese for supper. My mom's gotta go do a lesson for tonight, and then we'll be back to normal schedule tomorrow. Of course. So we'll look that up, we'll see what's the best one, and then we'll go from there and buy the best vehicle for it. because that's gonna be the ideal way of doing things. It's like they have the DAF and the Scania. I'm pretty sure the DAF and the Scanias are gonna be the better trucks out here. I need to fix my vehicle anyways. Service recommendation. But anyway, it's all about projection when you got the freedom of speech and you got these things, and this freedom of information. It's like we should have the right to get the information that we need, and if we can't get that information, whether even if it's redacted, and yet they won't even give it out, but yet they, you know, like the Epstein files, like they won't give out those Epstein files. Now, yeah, I'm pretty sure this is like new territory for them. They don't realize I am speeding through this. No. Nope. Until it basically tells me. Yep. I won't mind. If they're gonna get this late, they're gonna get it late. It's gonna be one of those things where yep. I don't get anything for it. So, I'm gonna get off here though. But before we do, I'm gonna check a thing. Okay, I'm gonna look up a thing. Okay. Okay, so what we need to be polling is we need to get the challenge is that we weren't able to poll with this kind of with these. The Scanias are going to be the best option for us in any situation. Any vehicle. So when we go and purchase a truck dealer, okay, we have the DAF dealer down here, okay. Now we're going to go all the way to being able. We cannot purchase the DAF XD Sleeper High. We cannot do the NGX Plus. Okay, but we can do the NXG Plus there. It is not going to give us this a truck that I desire. Okay. DAF X does not give us what we need. Why would I want to purchase a DAF truck down here? Yeah, you don't want the DAF down here. Because the DAF truck is only going to go if we did the Iveco, it goes to 580 for that one. It's 560. That one's 640, but we need to have a higher. That's a 680, but we need to have the see, the Mercedes-Benz goes at 625. The Volvo might be the best option if we do the Volvo down. The Volvo down here. it's still it still goes to 5. The FH3 does go to that. So the Volvos, because we can also do Volvos out here as well. And I think that's what we might do, is go with the Volvo FH, go with the Aero. Go with this. That's gonna give us the Aero 6E, right? Let's see if we got any different, because paint jobs change. Paint jobs can change. Okay. We could also do the F5, F4 as well. And I got the FH3 right here. It's good Miku NT. Globetrotter. And go all the way down here to that mid. Okay. Now we can go with the Globetrotter. Globetrotter X 750 for it. We need the 750 or better out here. So 6x2. Yep, they can go up as far as that. We'll go with that. We'll come down here, we'll add and then we can do we can do the FH3 down here for it, and I believe so here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go. We can also do Scanias out here. I think I might just switch over back to Scanias out here. Move the Actrosses. Move the Actrosses out of here. Because I think we're gonna need the highest horsepower that we can get. Let's actually go to the left. I want to experience something. We're gonna go up this way. We're gonna change up our truck out here. We're gonna take the Sakura one. We're gonna take the Mercedes-Benz version of this. We're gonna shift these Mercedes out of here. I might put these out in the UK a little bit. I might have a UK business, but we have to follow that. Remember, like I said, we have to follow. We have 1.1 million. I have to, if I'm going to be out here, I have to have the Volvos. Out here for whatever it is, I have to have them. So what we'll do is we'll shift off a lot. We have to get at least a Volvo out here. Thanks, Hardee's, Trace Gaming TV, for joining TikTok Live. Thank you. I'm gonna sleep another. Alright, so now we are out here in Iceland. I felt like that we could have gotten the Actrosses out here. Didn't realize at how badly that there is. I thought this would even make it up through the hill. This doesn't, you need to have a good, decent set of vehicles out here. So, we're going to go to truck dealers. We have the Scanias. We will also have Scanias out here, but we will have the Volvos. And I started out with Volvos. We're now going to buy online. We only have the F5s and the F6s out here. We don't have the F3s. Let's check the used market for these. We have the F3 Sleeper out here. We have the Sleeper. Not in perfect condition. But I think we're going to try to see if we can get the F3s out here. So we're going to put you over here in this spot. Okay. And I'm also going to do Scanias out here too. So what I'm going to do is Scanias are going to be down here in the Scania area, but I was thinking truck manager now. Now we're going to come down here, we're going to go to the Volvo FH3. We're going to upgrade you. The Globetrotter XL. Go to the 6x2 tag lift. 750 horsepower. But yeah, it's got that uneven terrain. This is actually good for it. And then we'll do the exclusive. And then I'll put the Hatsukun Miku on this one. I could also do this too as well, but I don't know if I have a trailer for it. And if I have a trailer for it, then I won't do the Hatsukun Miku, I'll do that down here. And I can always change the thing on it. So now if we go to trailer purchase, just for, we need the curtain side, because I want to have the Scanias out here, and being able to, we'll upgrade you down to the dry freighter moving floor. We're going to go with a 4 axles down here, for this. I think we go with this one. We're gonna need, we have to have the best axles out here for it. So I'm increasing the axle stuff. 3 axle plus 2 steerable. Yeah, we're gonna need the 4 axles out here for it, I feel. So now we're gonna go with the painted boxes out here. I could also go with the pallet box. Put the pallet box out here. Go with the exclusive. Don't think we're gonna put that wind portion out here. Go on Easy Rider. Add the exclusive thing. Now, what would it look like if I just went with the dry freighter, and not having that there? It actually looks just decent as well. So we'll just allow for this to be there. I don't like because I like the top on it, and I think that's what we're gonna use. So we're gonna confirm you, okay? We are going to purchase you, and we're gonna put you down here. Okay. Now let's go to Garage Manager. No, actually, let's go to Garage Purchase. Okay, we are going to purchase a new garage, but I am going to tell you guys, I'm going to be right back for this. But let me go to Notepad. I'll be right back. I'm going to go do a thing. You guys can look at this. We will see where things go. I will be right back. I'm going to go start the pot. Be right back. So when we look at when we look at these places, um, we got Sweden, Finland, Switzerland, Belgium, France, Australia, Portugal, and Malta. Now, Spain, of course, is higher rated, and Spain's down here, right? Now, that's all that we've got available to us. We also could do the UK, but I'm sticking away from the Greenland area. If we do, it's going to be mostly Scanias. Finland, we're going to put one down here in, let's do Athens, Greece. Albania, I'm just seeing what we've got. Because we could go with down here. But this is more a truck that's dedicated. And we got a Spain down there. I need to think. Moldova, Romania. Do we have Moldova? Is Slovenia? I didn't even check Moldova, to be honest. Let me look up Florp. Let's use Florp. Oh, we got an update! Florp's got the final update. Got an update for it. It shouldn't take long. Okay. So let's go to Qualdex. Now Maldo. No, I said M-O. No. Moldova. Moldova? Not going there. Romania is another one. Mania, not gonna do that. Bulgaria. North Macedonia. Greece. This is already on my list. Al... Al... Albania, not gonna do that. Montenegro. Montenegro. Montenegro, we could do that there. Look at last place. But B.O. Bosnia and Herzegovina. Nope. SE, let me see. SE. That's in Africa. No. We need Serbia is over in Europe. I believe world map. Budapest, Hungary. Because we know that's Hungary, right? Serbia. Okay, yeah, so it's Serbia there. Okay, Kosovo. Okay, Kosovo, nothing around that area. Croatia. Okay, so we're gonna just basically so basically let's do Finland for this one. Services, garage purchase. Let's go over to Finland. Let's go over to Latvia. It's gonna be on the board. Let's go over to Finland. Let's purchase you. Okay. We're going to do this for the sole purpose of putting Latvia down here. We're going to go to Truck Manager. We're gonna drive this one. Okay. Then we're going to go to services. truck manager. Actually, we can go to garage manager. Hold on. We can go to garage manager. We need ROG. We can relocate you. Into Latia. To relocate you over here in the Latia. And we're also going to relocate you over to Latia as well. So now over there, Latia, now we have that. Now we're going to go into our services. Used trucks. The Volvo only, we only have these Volvos here. Now we could do the Volvos here, but we also have we will have to look into that. So right now we only have the Volvo here. These Actroses will not have anything. So that means that person's gonna have to get booted and moved out that way. But anyways, guys, I'm gonna give you guys a thing here. I'm gonna let you guys listen to some music. I'm gonna go check the pot. I am making some mac and cheese. So give me that opportunity to do this. Thanks for anybody who is joined on the TikTok side. I will take that time to be right back, and we'll check my pot. I might absolutely end the stream for TikTok, and then we come back. I might take this break. We're gonna take a quick break for it. So I'm going to come back, guys, in a bit. You guys can listen to some